those presidential and regional elections in September 1. Not for the first time. He was there for the previous election as well. And he told us that we could learn from Ghana where live election updates are concerned. Yes, listen to what he said.
I think that the uploading of the statement of poll is something that we should consider. That provides the public with hard information as to how the votes were cast at each polling station. They have almost 3,000 polling stations. It worked pretty well. I mean, I was monitoring it up to late in the night, and they didn't finish uploading all of them until the wee hours of the morning. But I found the website very responsive. I mean, you could just click on a particular polling station number, and immediately a copy of the statement of poll came up. And it is something that we may want to consider.
Thinking about that, what do we have now? Why this would be of some value, I wonder. The statement of poll is the recording of the votes that are counted in each polling station. Yes? Where the presiding officer, supported by his or her poll clerk and indoor agents for the two political parties, stay right there in their polling booth, count the votes, and then write it up on the statement of poll, seal the box, and then send the box, accompanied by them, of course, to the counting center. That is not uploaded in real time. So what I hear former Prime Minister Golding suggesting, then that should be updated in real time. Well, what would be the value of that? Now we have a situation where the EOJ, is the one who does the reporting through its election center, and media houses are able to plug in to that data center and say what are the statement of poll results are indicating. I'd love to talk with Mr. Golding about that. I do know that in this system as we have it here, errors can be made. So one candidate gets 21 votes and 21 can become 12. That happens. Yeah, in math. People get the numbers twisted. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, something to be considered. The former Prime Minister also said that in the discussion he had with Turner, that his Jamaica Labour Party deserves the third term based on what he called its creditable performance in government.
All indications were that the election were going to be closely contested, and they were. If you look at the popular vote, I think the JLP had 14,000 more votes than the PNP. I think it was like 51-49%. So it was a closely contested election. Under our first past the post system, they ended up with what is now, I think, 35 seats. I think the JLP deserved to be re-elected. I think it has performed creditably. I think it went into this election with a significant number of achievements that it could present to the voters. And I think that accounted significantly for its victory.
Bruce Golding, the former Prime Minister. He also said that he is hoping the current composition of the lower house will not lead to adversarial posturing on national issues by the members of the House.
You're going to have a more balanced chamber, and I'm sure that is going to lead to more robust, I hope not cantankerous, but more robust debate. One of the things that holds us back is the fact that the adversarial, contentious mood that prevails in a campaign seems to have great longevity and carries over into much of a term of office. I really would like to see a situation where both the government and the opposition could agree on some basic ground rules where some issues that are so critical to Jamaica's well-being are, and I hope I'm not being idealistic, but are depoliticized, are sort of taken out of the arena of political combat and treated as national issues.
I think you're being idealistic, Mr. Golding. The numbers in the new parliament, 35-28, a majority of 7, which is a fairly comfortable majority. It's more than a working majority. We saw a parliamentary term of 32-31 not so long ago. So 35-28 is a comfortable working majority. But the opposition benches are more populated, and you have some people now re-entering the parliament who are notorious, yeah, for their stridency and their aggression. And it's one of the things I think we need to brace ourselves for. Yes? And not to mention the fact that the opposition is licking its wounds, yeah? Having suffered a very, very disappointing defeat. They were sure they were going to win. And they are facing the prospect of 15 years now in opposition. I don't think you, Mr. Golding, is going to see what you're articulating there. It's going to be rough going. Yeah? Rough going. 25 minutes after 10. The FID and its Chief Technical Director, Dennis Chung, figured recently in the news and in the run-up to the elections, where Mr. Chung's appointment was challenged by the opposition over the controversial IC report on the Prime Minister's declarations. This morning, I heard an interview with Dennis Chung revealing that attempts were made on election day to hack his personal phone. According to Mr. Chung, this was part of a plot to lend credibility to a lie. I must stop talking about misinformation, these are lies. Yeah? Because there are some political actors who are now prepared to lie blatantly, taking their cue from a certain gentleman up north. Yeah. And I think we have got to be more decisive in calling them out, because some people are now given to lying openly, blatantly, repeatedly, with the hope of getting away with it. It's an insidious development in our politics. There was a time when, if you're caught lying, you'd be ashamed. It's as if you earn some spurs now. That you lie and you repeat the lie and you repeat the lie, and you have bloggers who repeat the lie for you, and you create a whole ecosystem of lying. And you get away with it. It's not misinformation. It's lying. It's despicable. So, according to Dennis, there were attempts to hack his phone to lend credence to the lie that was circulating on social media on election day, that the FID had ruled that the Prime Minister should be charged with breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and other corruption-related offences. Dennis was speaking this morning with Tonna and Sandre on Nationwide.
The reason I'm coming on is because I consulted with my team and they said it's something we need to talk about to let the public know.
Yes.
So I was actually away. I just came back 2 nights ago. I was actually away for the election. But at about 2:30 Jamaica time, I was sitting with 2 of my colleagues from the FID, and we were having something to eat for dinner because we were in the UK at the time at the Crime Symposium.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a message from someone well-known, her phone well-known. I suspect it was hacked. And the person said to me that I should ask me if I can vote for them to be an ambassador. One of these sites and things. I say, yes, send me the link. No problem for it. And then the person comes back and says, well, it's not really a link. I'm going to send you SMS message with 6 digits and you send it back to me. Now that immediately raised my suspicion, especially when I spoke to the persons who were with me, who is a lawyer and a senior investigator, and because we found it very suspicious. So when the link came in, it came from with some Chinese on it and then 6 digits, and immediately they said to me, well, that's an attempt to clone your phone. So don't respond. When I didn't respond, that person kept sending me messages. Why are you not sending me back this thing? Within the space of like 2 minutes, I got about 3 or 4 messages asking me why I can't send it back. And a phone call also. Now, sometimes when they call, that also assists with the hacking. So I didn't answer. But I said, don't answer. And then 5 minutes after that, someone else sent me something to say that, and I don't know if this phone was hacked also, that there's a meme going around about the fact that the FID had charged the Prime Minister. Is there any credibility to it? Obviously, I didn't respond again because anything I said, could have been turned around. So there was no response. Within about half hour after that, I then did, and this is like about by 3 o'clock. So the polls will close about 5 o'clock.
Yes.
They said someone sent me something with the post, the fake post that would comment on to say that the FID had charged the Prime Minister. So immediately we spoke with the head of the police unit at the FID in Jamaica. And he said, listen, ignore all of that. And I spoke with our principal director for investigation and the PR person. I said, we need to issue a statement right now, say that we have nothing to do with this, and that is false.
Dennis Chung speaking with Tonna Thomas this morning. Well, last Wednesday, on Election Day, hours before the closing of the polls, we saw that fake post circulating on social media. Right? It led to the FID issuing that statement, as you heard Dennis saying. Yeah? And that FID statement said there was no such ruling or announcement or statement. It noted that as a law enforcement agency, the FID operates strictly within the laws of Jamaica. It also said all investigations are conducted in keeping with established protocols. Yeah? Now, according to Dennis, if the attempt had been successful, the hackers could have used his phone to issue messages purporting to be him that would have added credibility to the lie.
So it's just to show the lengths that people will go to, and we have nothing to say, and I would never say that it's linked to the opposition party, and I'm very clear about that. But obviously there's someone who had an intention to get me involved, add some credibility to it. That's the feeling of the team, based on the sequence of events. Because if they had taken over my phone and easily would have sent a message from it, purporting to be me to say that, this is true. So that was what happened. It's very unfortunate that people go to that length to do something like that. And the reason why we came up with it quickly
Yes.
is because we know that based on the timing, we thought it was important to come up with it before the close of the polls. You know, so that people would see that was the situation. But we're just sitting down having dinner, and this thing came up. Obviously, it was a last-ditch effort for someone to try and sully the name of the FID, and myself also.
Dennis Chung, Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division. Well, we don't know. Mr. Chung certainly doesn't know. He hasn't said who was responsible. And we may never know. But what we can ask, who would have benefited from such a lie being spread on election day? Who would have gained from that? Who would have benefited from that? That's all you need to ask yourself. Yeah? Time for the break.
My hands were